Hey, I'm Cliffhanger, and this is the movie Inside. A loser thief finds himself trapped in a smart house from which there is no escape. The film opens with a panorama of a city full of skyscrapers. Then the camera moves to a penthouse atop one of the towers. Inside, everything is pristine and orderly, as if no one lives there. Meanwhile, the sound of helicopter blades echoes over the city and radio chatter fills the air. As the countdown ends, the main character, Nemo, a burglar, lands on the roof. He cuts through the protective mesh and slips inside, disabling the security system through a terminal. Now, he has only 7 minutes to loot the place for luxury items and artwork, which he does with enthusiasm. However, during the heist, he hits a snag. The thief cannot find the self-portrait of Egon Schiele, a lesser-known Austrian painter. Consulting over the radio with his partner, Nemo heads to the video installation room, but the masterpiece is nowhere to be found. Deciding that a stolen bird in the hand is better than a hidden crane, he opts to leave with what he has. But due to either a glitch in the system or a wrong code, the alarm blares, cutting him off from the exit. His partner washes his hands of the affair to avoid getting caught. In panic, Nemo tries to smash the glass door to the sound of the siren. Then he attempts to hack the terminal, no luck either. Tormented by the shrieking alarm, the thief methodically smashes the flashing lights, plugs his ears, and searches for speakers to silence the torture. Eventually, he succeeds. But where is the police? The question hangs in the air. Wandering through the spacious apartment, Nemo admires the rich furnishings until he stumbles upon a carved door. With a pocket knife, he begins trying to break it open. Slowly, painfully, he makes progress. Meanwhile, the digital brain of the house turns on the heating. He goes to quench his thirst, but only a few drops come from the tap before the water cuts out. Checking the fridge, a virtual assistant's voice informs him there's only food left for nothing, time to restock. Tired of banging on locked doors, Nemo rests on the couch, trying to contact his partner by radio. Getting no response, he pulls vodka and moldy cheese from the fridge before settling in front of the broken TV, which is linked not only to cable channels, but also to surveillance cameras. On one of the screens, he sees a guard. After spending the night in the owner's bedroom, he wakes to the roar of a helicopter. Thinking his partner is back, he runs to the glass door and notices pigeons trapped on the terrace behind the mesh. Washing in the greenhouse's artificial pond, Nemo again calls for his partner over the radio, then tries the phone, but it's dead. The owner's work computer is also locked. To pass the time, Nemo enjoys such cheerful activities as going to the toilet and admiring moldy oranges. He tries smashing the window with citrus fruits, unsurprisingly useless. Spotting a skylight, he decides it could be broken or opened. From furniture, he constructs his own Tower of Babel, though quietly, so as not to anger the higher powers or encourage schizophrenia. In the greenhouse, he finds a hose, but like the rest of the plumbing, it doesn't work. To quench his thirst, he's forced to suck ice from the freezer. Using fabric from an armchair, he strengthens his tower. Brave as a mountaineer, he climbs, but the skylight remains just out of reach. He descends and drafts new blueprints. Meanwhile, the smart home plays security footage, a maid, Jasmine, eating lunch. When she leaves, the man fiddles with the thermostat, trying to cool things down. But food is running out. A failed attempt to open cans without an opener cuts his hand. Later, he hides from the heat inside the open fridge, dancing to Macarena as the system beeps a warning that the door's been left open too long. At night, he eats a can and sees the pigeon still alive outside. Next day, using a piece of artwork as a chisel, he opens the freezer and finds meat and dog food. Suddenly, he hears sprinklers in the greenhouse. He rushes to drink and bathe under the improvised shower. The prisoner keeps scavenging for escape. Curtains, beds, everything turns into building materials for his tower, wobbling like a drunken sailor. Still, Nemo climbs up to the skylight, but it's as unbreakable as the walls. Suffering from the heat, he sketches in a notebook and spies on Jasmine through cameras. She stands right by the front door, but music in her headphones keeps her from hearing him. Eventually, the climate control flips to cool air. He enjoys the breeze but stays cautious. Anything can go wrong. The next morning, he carefully collects sprinkler water into bowls, then bottles, buying himself a few more days. Even the endless Macarena no longer drives him mad. Regaining strength, he smashes a vase, turning shards into protective goggles, then climbs the tower to hammer at the skylight frame. The next day, he talks to himself while cooking. Loneliness gnaws at him. He watches workers through the cameras, chatting with them like old friends. He sees the maid again with another guy. Progress. He manages to unscrew part of the frame, but the bolts are tough. Evenings, he stares through a telescope at the unreachable city. He keeps trying the terminal to no avail. Nights are cold. He wraps in blankets like a Terminator sent to the past. Days blur into monotonous hammering and spying. Out of boredom, Nemo even talks to the pigeon, begging it to fly for help. But the bird cannot find the exit. To amuse himself, he doodles glasses and horns on the paintings. Cracking open a wardrobe, he finds a hidden space with a skeleton holding a book. William Blake's The Marriage of Heaven and Hell, apparently illustrated by the author himself. Taking the relic, Nemo returns to find the pigeon dead. At night, he sees Jasmine again on the cameras, right outside, but his banging goes unheard. He dreams of an art exhibit hosted in the apartment. The owner greets him as a friend. They discuss Sheely's paintings. Nemo notices Jasmine among the faceless guests, but she slips away. A glowing staircase leads him back to reality, still a prisoner. In the morning, Nemo breaks a chair leg to fashion a wrench. He tries to unscrew bolts on the skylight, but the wood snaps. Despair, hunger, moral exhaustion overwhelm him. He catches a fish from the tank, not to admire, but to eat raw. He tells himself jokes. He crafts another tool, manages to loosen some bolts. With every passing day, fewer chair legs remain, less food. But his wall drawings grow, alongside an altar where he places each bolt removed. One day, climate control switches back to heat. The ecosystem collapses. The toilet in the dry pool becomes his latrine. He breaks his leg just when only 2 bolts separate him from freedom. Eating the last scraps, he paints a black and white mural on the wall. Through pain, he keeps unscrewing bolts. He sees outside. Spring arrives, flowers bloom. Jasmine appears before him, standing by the TV, lips nearly touching his, but she vanishes. Just another hallucination. The owner appears too, smashing Nemo's head. Also an illusion. Suddenly, Nemo notices the fire alarm sensor. He tears magazines into strips, fashions a magnifying glass, focuses sunlight, and sparks a fire. Sprinklers activate, drenching everything. Water pours endlessly, yet no help arrives. The TV shorts out. The flood drags on too long to be ignored, but too short to save him. Realizing his uniqueness, Nemo wanders like the fish he was named after. Snow falls outside, blanketing the world in white. Limping, he writes a farewell note on the wall, apologizing to the owner for everything, and noting he saved 3 artworks from the flood. Slowly, he climbs his man-made mountain. The skylight glass finally falls away. The camera drifts through the looted apartment, resting on the altar lit by heavenly light. Nemo the thief has died, but reborn as an artist. And with that, the film, like Nemo's imprisonment, the music ends. If you want to see more videos like this, leave a like and subscribe. That helps my channel a lot. See you.